it is, I mean, it's honestly not even that cold. It's like 40, but, oh, jeez. That's probably one of my least favorite feelings, is getting in the car when it's cold and having to wait for it to heat up. But, whatever. Whatever. Just gotta deal with it. That does make me a little bit jealous of anybody living in, like, Florida or California. It's always fucking warm. But no matter. Let's focus on what actually matters. What's the plan for chest today? Not exactly certain, but part of me kind of wants to go a little bit lighter to start. So usually I start off with, like, heavy Smith incline or heavy barbell incline bench, and then move on to lighter movements. But I think today I want to start with some bent over cable press. So, like, moderate weight. And the sets will be reasonably controlled, like the reps will. I won't just be throwing around as much weight as possible. So I think I'll move from something like that for a few sets to maybe incline Smith, to chest press, to cable flies. That's my loose idea of what the workout is going to look like, just sort of based off of a freaking off the cuff sort of plan, you know. And I don't know if I would recommend this. Actually, I probably would not recommend that approach to a beginner. If it's like year one of your workout journey, right, and you're working out consistently, I think it's oh goodness. I think it's going to be in your best interest to have workouts written out and really follow a plan. I'm not like a huge fan of getting a coach, just because I like everything that comes along with me taking control of everything for myself. It's kind of like you build something with your own two hands type deal. It's more valuable. That's at least my kind of mentality about it. But as a beginner, I'm just fucking copying other people's workouts. Right? I'm watching like a Callum Van Moga chest day. I'm like, oh, that's all right, perfect. Heavy pressing, and then pec flies and cable press, and done. Or random shit like that. Right? There's no. As a beginner, you got to remember a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of coming up with workouts. It's already been done. There's basic chest workouts all over the fucking place. Or any kind of workout. So I think it's going to be in your best interest, just so that you don't have, to deal with so much like thought and decision making that you're not really, equipped to do. Because as an early stage lifter, you're not the most experienced. So it's going to be probably more beneficial for you to maybe talk to some of your buddies, have them write a workout plan. I've done that before to I kind of indoctrinated a bunch of dudes from my gym or from my friend group into lifting for a bit, and I wrote out some workout plans for each body part. And it's not like a specific workout like that is special, because for a chest day, you could substitute any kind of pressing movement with a inclined dumbbell or barbell or Smith. It's all just pressing movements and cable flies and whatever else. But I think just sticking with a set routine for a while, really focusing on progressive overload, getting stronger as a beginner, that's kind of what you should be focusing on. And then just getting training experience under your belt. And when it comes to progressive overload, do not neglect that. I don't really talk about it much, because for me, I've kind of gotten to a point of size and strength where really increasing weight beyond what I'm capable of now, it's not necessarily going to directly correlate with more size. The the ratio, or kind of the correlation of strength and size as a beginner, it's fucking direct. As a beginner, as you gain size, you will gain strength, guaranteed. And then same thing in reverse. If you start curling heavier dumbbells, your biceps should be bigger, you know. But when you get to a point of, size or progress, I mean, I don't need to try to progressively overload my squat to like 600 for 10. It's just not as practical. So I don't talk about progressive overload as much because the weights that I use are pretty consistent. It's enough that I need to stimulate whatever I'm hitting, but I do try to push it. And then of course I still do try to go a little bit heavier. But as a beginner, that's where you're going to see the most progress in your lifts. I remember when I was starting out, me and one of my friends, Connor, were like racing to see who could get like a higher bench. And that was back when, I 1 rep max in the basement, where the home gym wasn't even really a home gym. It was just a dumbbell bench or a barbell bench and 300 pounds of weight. That was when I was doing like 235. That was my 1 rep max. But yeah, sometimes I kind of forget, especially for the earlier lifters, strength progress, that's also part of it. So don't get too obsessed with really light dumbbells as a beginner. There's all sorts of different mechanisms of action for hypertrophy, like fucking fascial stretch training, FST7. Talking about really filling up your fibers with stretching everything out or whatever, but I can say with certainty, mechanical tension, just the amount of fucking load that your muscles are dealing with in a working set, I'm talking maybe, it's a wide range, but I'd say for the most part I stick to around 8 to 20 reps for all my sets, kind of an even mix, bounce around there. As long as you're really pushing it and you hit muscular failure within that bound, that is within that rep scheme, then you're doing something right. And the more you lift, then you can start really being like, okay, I want to do these kind of dumbbell curls instead of these ones because these feel better. And you just get more kind of fucking accustomed, right? If you jump straight into a fucking race car and they put you in a suit with your helmet, you're like, holy crap, I gotta fucking learn how to control this thing. But then once you've done that for like 3 years, when you get into the car, you're not worried about how to like totally control it. You're gonna be like, well, I gotta adjust the seat. You'll gradually start making more and more minute adjustments to your training, and that should kind of correlate with you getting better at it. I've made this analogy before. You should almost be like a target-seeking missile when it comes to your training. If the target is gains, then do a routine for a few months, see where it takes you, and then make adjustments accordingly. So if you think you need more rest, or you need more calories, or you need to just increase your training intensity, or maybe lower your volume, stuff like that, if you make a positive change, that's going to point you in the right direction. And then you'll never get there. There's no, just in life, right? Perfection, it's not real, it doesn't exist. But you can constantly improve. And that's pretty much as close as we can get. So it's 10:15. The gym is more than likely dead, except for some stragglers. So I do not think I'll have a problem getting some cables, hopping on the Smith machine and everything else. So before I know it, we're going to be posing down, doing some side chests and whatever other fucking poses. Just having a good old time. So let's get started. All right, a moderate weight. This set is going to sort of end once I just kind of burn out, like I feel like what keeps me from doing another set of like incline dumbbell or a really heavy press is the fact that physically I just can't, like within the period of like 3 reps, I get to the point where I just physically can't get another one. But with lighter weight sets, it's a little bit more of an endurance test. Not that I'm talking like, the set is cardio because it's high reps, but you do have to kind of be able to handle the last 6 reps really burning when, maybe a less intense lifter would probably rack the weight and say, oh, I'm done. So go hard. This will be a good starter set. I might sit here for a few and then move on to a more conventional press, maybe incline Smith or incline dumbbell. Okay. One more. A little heavier. Oh, shit. One more. One more, then move on. Oh, these fucking burn. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a second to a rest pause set. I love how little front delta activation I get with these. I might have to start doing these more often. Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh. All right. Let's move on. Not sure what to yet. All right. Let's see how many reps to 315 of the Smith we can get. Well, not 315, but 3 plates. Yeah. 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 One more. Okay, this set will be a little different. Only 2 plates on the Smith, but I'm gonna pre-exhaust with a set of pec deck. So, I'm not super concerned about taking this set with the pec deck to like absolute muscular failure, because the whole point of it is just acting as a pre-exhaust, so that when I go do 2 plates on the Smith to failure, it's gonna feel like fucking 4. I feel like I've been in a kick of doing a lot of straight sets, which I do like, but you gotta change it up every so often. So I think maybe 1 or 2 of these should be good. Then we can probably move on to flies. We're getting close to the end. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, fine. Come on. Yeah. 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 One more. Yeah. 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 Okay. 5. Oh my God. I'll go a little wider for this set. Yeah. 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 Do it. Okay. Holy shit. All right. Let's do a little bit of cable flies of some variety, and then chest is fully cooked. You know, I'm typically, and if you watch any of these videos, you know this, I'm not necessarily a huge isolateral chest guy. You know, like I don't usually do one pec at a time. But on a very rare occasion, and I've never done this in any video, so like only once every few years, I do like single-sided flies. So instead of both at once, and also partially just because these cables are way too close, I'll just do one. So pretty lightweight, really just trying to fucking flex, finish off the pump, grab on here, burn out one side, and then do the other. I might just do one set and be done, honestly. I mean, my chest is fucking cooked, even though I didn't even do like insane weight today. It just goes to show you don't necessarily need it every workout. Okay, well, I'll go a little heavier than that. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's pose down and discuss. Okay. Complete honesty, 100% transparency. I feel kind of like shit. That workout was kind of scrappy. Not in terms of the intensity, I did try to push it. Like always, I mean, why would you come to the gym and not push it? But I could definitely tell something on my preparation was off. I slept well, I ate a ton of fucking food. Maybe I didn't drink enough water. That might have been it. You gotta remember, your pump doesn't just come out of nowhere. Your muscles don't just fucking expand from nothingness. It comes from the fluids in your fucking bloodstream and all over the place, coming in and inflaming and fucking filling up whatever you're trying to pump up. So honestly, it could just be that, man. Fuck. Rookie move for me. I might have to stop at the gas station on the way home and just get like a gallon jug. Just, well, for one thing, to drink when I get back to the house, but also to keep filling up tomorrow. But despite subjectively it feeling kind of scrappy, we look fucking crazy. You know, this doesn't look like the results of a bad workout. That's for sure. Oh. Oh my goodness. What other poses are there? Yeah. Love it. Oh yeah, lat spread. What am I doing? Oh, it feels good to just be a fucking meatball. So let's get in the car, go home, chow down, and drink as many fucking ounces of water with some electrolyte mix as I can, and then have a good night's rest. So let's get in the car. Okay, it's time to go home. It's 11:18. Did I say, what time did I say I left? Like 10:15? Pretty short workout. You gotta remember. And let me clear this up. I feel like I always, when I read these comments, I get a little, it irks me. It irks me a little bit. It's like, Sam, you're only working out 4 days a week. What about the other 3? Not exactly. Not exactly. You know, I do hit every muscle group in 4 days, except for shoulders, but that's just because I skip them for the most part. They're big enough. But legs, back, chest. No. Legs, chest, back, arms. And then this 5th day just becomes legs again. That's the loop. So in no way imaginable is that a bro split. Right? So the conventional idea of a bro split is hitting every muscle group once per week and splitting them up as evenly as possible. So what would that even look like? Maybe legs, chest, back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, calves? I don't even know. But no, I never in a bazillion years would recommend you hit every muscle group just once per week. Because it's going to recover before then, you know? If you're eating enough food, and even if you're dieting down, after like 3-ish days, 4 days of, let's say you hit your chest like a maniac, you know, my chest is going to be fatigued and still tired and worn out and sore tomorrow. In no way do I think hitting chest again tomorrow would do me any good. It would really just hinder my recovery for chest, and fuck, man, just wouldn't get anything out of it. And then the day after tomorrow, I'd say probably same thing. Chest is not ready to get hit. And day after that, we're getting close. I could maybe do it. You know, every 2 days of rest should be satisfactory as long as you drink enough water and eat enough food and sleep well. I think 2 or 3 days after you hit something, no matter how hard you hit it, it should be ready to be hit again. And so that's kind of my cue, you know? Like, what's the point of waiting longer than necessary to recover? And this kind of goes against like a Mike Mentzer vibe, or a Mike Mentzer logic and theory, because he's like, you know, you just hit it once a week and then let it grow for the whole week. But it's not a week-long process, at least not as far as I can tell. You know, if you hit your dry, like let's say, well, everybody does push-pull legs, Arnold split, pretty basic shit, where you hit everything twice a week with a rest day. After 2 days, you're ready to hit legs again. You know, this is pretty basic stuff. So that's sort of how I like it. But I do spread it out a little more. I don't hit everything once a week. I end up hitting every muscle group every 8 days. But that's right there. It's close enough. You know, you don't have to follow the book to a T just because the book is just, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's freaking different. So that's why I always say, you know, no matter how much shit you learn online and you read about or you listen to people talking about working out, no matter how smart or big or small or how many PhDs they have in exercise science, that information is useful, but it's not more valuable than just trying a workout plan out for yourself and seeing results for you, man. You know, because a guy doing a lecture or like a video podcast talking about training, and in no way am I disregarding that. I watch that shit all the time. I'm a fucking gym nut. What else am I gonna watch? But you know, for the beginner and even the intermediate lifter, just keep going hard and see what works for you. You know, because your body is way fucking different than mine, and his body's way different than yours, and blah 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 blah, and whatever, man. You know, like, fuck. Go hard, train consistently every week, eat your food, and sleep well. Guess what? You're probably gonna grow muscle. You know, this isn't a. It's not rocket science. As complicated as people make it. But I was fuck. I was about to say something and now I forget. went off on a tangent of muscle building. Totally unrelated, but any Dune fans? Any Dune fans in the chat? I saw the first one. Jesus, was it freaking long? It was cool though, but I wouldn't mind a director's cut down to like half the fucking time of that movie. I haven't seen the second one. I will eventually. And it was funny. My dad, way back when the first movie released, I don't know when, but fucking 90s, whatever. Uh, he said a bunch of his friends read the book and they were real excited for it, and they all fucking walked out of the theater because the first movie was so bad. Oh my goodness. Getting back to actual training. To go. Yeah, fuck, man. I I understand why people say this, because on surface level, it makes sense. It makes logical sense. And guess where I'm going with this? Fucking cardio talk. Jesus, dude. People don't seem to understand that there's more benefits to cardio than just burning, an X amount of calories in 30 minutes. It baffles me. I cannot fathom it. Like every video, like I'll sit, because I'm on fucking Instagram and TikTok 24/7. So I always see the clips where people cut out me talking about, like, you got to do your cardio even on a bulk. Top comment every time: why would you do cardio on a bulk? The whole point of bulking is to gain weight and eat a lot of calories. So by doing cardio, you're just fucking cutting down on that process. Why would you do that? And like I said, at surface level, you're not wrong, because you're right. You are burning a certain amount of calories. So your total calorie expenditure of your body is higher. Right? So that means that if you want to gain the same amount of weight, you will have to eat a little bit more. But I'm not sure if you understand this, and not you, I'm talking to the people who say that, but if you burn calories, that doesn't just mean that they disappear into nothingness. You've literally created a need for your body to want to replenish those calories that you burned. A guy who runs around all fucking day, fucking labor job, specially trained athlete doing like hours of intense activity, or just fucking lifters like us, cardio and really hard lifting, guess what? They're going to be hungrier and they're going to need to eat more food than a guy who's the same weight as them, but just kind of fucking walks around all day and never even gets close to breaking a sweat, because we're, more active and we're literally burning through more fucking fuel. So you're going to have to replenish it, The car that is doing, more fucking burnouts and higher speeds and acceleration and whatever, and just burning more gas, he's going to have to fill up his tank more often because he's, running through his energy storage. So I understand when you say, okay, cardio is going to hinder my gains because I'm cutting into my, my calorie surplus. But you got to remember, there are a multitude of fucking benefits beyond just energy expenditure. For one thing, in your workouts, you will be less gassed. And fuck, man, if you get extra heavy, that's going to matter. I do my cardio like I do miss it on occasion. I'm not like a perfect lifter. I want to be, of course. But, I do my cardio pretty fucking consistently, and I still get fucking gassed. So if I didn't do any cardio, dude, if I do one set of really crazy leg press, it would probably fucking put me on the ground for 10 minutes. So, for one thing, in your lifts, you are going to be better at fucking managing your oxygen debt, because, every time you fucking hit a muscle to failure, fuck, man, it needs some blood in there, right? It's got to get re-oxygenated. So if you got in a sense, kind of a higher lung capacity, and your cardio system is working at a higher rate, it's going to be easier for you to recover and then do another set. So the last thing you want to do in hypertrophy training, right, aka lifting weights to gain muscle, is to have to end whatever set you're doing or reduce the intensity of whatever set you're doing because your lungs and your cardio gives out first, right? If I'm doing squats, I want to have to end the set or re-rack it or fucking fail a rep and put them on the safeties because my quads physically cannot do another rep. and they can't exert any more force. I don't want to have to end the set because I feel like I'm going to pass out because I can't fucking get enough oxygen to my body to keep the set going, you know? So it's not like I think if you don't do your cardio, you can't train. Obviously, you can. Fucking 90% of you guys you literally do that. But it is going to improve your training. Not only in terms of your actual performance, but you'll just feel better, man. You know? You're not, let's just say this, like, I want to train hard because there is a challenge aspect to it. It is enjoyable to do something and finish it and know that you just did something hard. But I don't want to make it harder on myself for no reason, you know? So the better my cardio is, the less really fucking gassed and exhausted I am after my lift and in between my sets. So it's just more enjoyable to train, right? And then the higher your energy expenditure is, you know, the amount of calories your body burns every day, for one thing, just from existing, but also from the activities that you do, and like, you know, breaking the sweat and training hard, that's gonna make you just leaner, right? Your baseline level of body fat will be lower because you're more fucking active, dude. No one is gonna look at someone who like fucking jogs consistently and lifts weights and think, huh, I wonder why that guy's so lean. Huh, I wonder why that guy has abs. Must just be lucky. He must just have the hit the genetic lottery, you know. He's naturally lean because he just is, and he happens to exercise and do cardio daily. Yeah, not exactly, right? This is a situation where there's a high ass fucking correlation, you know. So of course you can bulk up and get kind of soft, but if you lift consistently, you're just gonna look better, man. And not just look better, you'll fucking feel better. You're gonna have a better time just moving through the world when you're in shape. And for some people, that kind of sucks to hear because that's sort of a call to action. Like, fuck, man, I'm out of shape. But guess what? Well, I was gonna try to say something motivating, but really this is kind of not very nice at all. But guess what? Fuck, man, you got to deal with it, right? It'll take a little bit of time for sure, but you know, you're not so different from when you were a linebacker back in high school. It's just now you're not fucking working out twice a day like you were then. You know, just because. And of course, I sound like a snot-nosed kid because I'm still fucking young and fresh and whatever else. But I mean, there's a reason why the 50-year-old dude in the gym who's still fucking jacked, and well, I guess if he's not natural, that's a little bit different. But the natural dudes who are still working out consistently, there's a reason why they're just fucking more active and they're having more fun. You know, you gotta remember, you gotta use it or lose it, right? I mean, there's a pretty awesome clip, or not clip, it's just an X-ray of two thighs. One, and they're both like 80-year-old dudes. One of them, fucking filled with muscle to the brim, and then a little fat layer on top. And the other one, same size, like thigh, but fucking fat layer is literally 2/3 of the leg, and then there's just a little bit of muscle surrounding the femur, right, your thigh bone. And you know, 70-year-old who's doing consistent weight training, and 70-year-old who isn't. You know, of course, that's fucking way down the line. But you gotta remember, time passes for everybody, so you gotta get on top of that shit. So, and this is kind of, I'm in a little bit of an interesting position when it comes to, you know, hyping up working out, because obviously I'm like taking it to the extreme, fucking total nutcase, gaining an absurd amount of muscle, and I hope to gain an absurd amount more. But that's one side of the scale. Like, that's what I like doing because this is just like my thing. I'm a total fucking nutcase about it. Right? Probably taking it too far. But in no way do I try to take away from the benefits of just lifting for its own sake. You know, not even necessarily going for extreme performance. Anybody, anywhere, going from a typical just day-to-day life, work, school, anything, if you add consistent weight training, and even better if you add consistent cardio, you're just going to have a better time in general. You know, I cannot stress that enough. So, you know, if you've got a younger brother, or anybody at your house if you're still living with your family. Fuck, man, try to take one of them with you. Don't even tell them to do a really scrappy workout or anything. Just fucking bring them along. Slap them on the elliptical for like 20 minutes. When I was a kid and my parents would like take us all to the YMCA for the night, they'd actually work out a little bit, like do weights or like cardio. And, I'm like a 10-year-old kid. I'm just fucking around. But in a sense, who knows? Maybe that was my indoctrination to the gym. Maybe if they didn't take me up there to just kind of play around on the cardio machines, what if none of this ever happened? Oh, crazy to think about. Maybe, okay, don't just bring your fucking younger siblings in to play around. I've seen that before. It's really fucking annoying. Like, they're grabbing the cables, putting the weight stack all the way to like the middle, and swinging around like Spider-Man. You know, maybe don't let them play around too much. But, come on. Come on. Get them active a little. It doesn't even have to be weights. Fuck. Just, I'd, I could say this with certainty. If you can break a sweat every day of your life, you're going to have a good time. You are going to have a good time. So that's probably a good ending note. That's a good finisher. So the plan now is to stop at Wendy's, get a bunch of spicy chicken sandwiches like I love. Actually, fuck, do I have my wallet with me? Yeah, we're good. I don't know if they do Apple Pay, so I've had that happen a few times where I had to go on the drive-thru and I had to just fucking leave. Not good. Not freaking good. But time to chow down, pass out, and then start this whole loop over again in the morning. So I'll see you tomorrow for back.